Hi everyone. It is day 11 of National Epilepsy Awareness Month, and I thought today I would share a little bit more of Alex's story and the journey that she's been on. Last time we got to her getting her PCDH19 diagnosis and also starting a ketogenic diet, which she is still on over 2.5 years later. So the rest of 2018, that was our first full year in epilepsy world with Alex. It was, I hate to say status quo, but we kind of settled into this new normal. And I wouldn't call that new normal actually normal at all. She was having seizures every single day. They were heavily reduced in length and intensity because of the keto. She was also on one medication, and then we started CBD oil for her as well, which the CBD oil didn't affect her seizure activity, but it definitely affected her sleep. And I think there have been some cognitive development benefits from the CBD. But that year was trying to gauge, where she was at and how it was going to help her long term, and if any of those changes would increase or decrease over time. So we had to really settle into that. You want to put a solid 6 months into it before you make any big changes. But it was a new comfortable that I wasn't comfortable with. It was hard to just accept, okay, so this is just going to be her life. We're just going to have seizures every day, and this is just going to be typical. And that's never something that quite sat well with me. I always have been researching and reading and looking and bringing ideas to her neurology team. You have to be a very vocal parent when you have a child with any kind of special medical needs. You have to know every possible thing you can know so that you come to the table prepared to have an educated conversation with her healthcare providers, because the fact is they don't know everything. They don't read everything. They don't see all the research. They don't know every single situation and circumstance. So you have to come with your own ideas and your own take on things, and you have to really push back and be willing to have a collaborative conversation. I'm not the kind of mom that's going to just let someone else tell me, well, this is what we're going to do and this is what we're going to do. I'm always going to have an opinion, and I should. She's my daughter, and they don't know her as well as we do. They see her in short snippets. They might see videos of seizures that we take, but we see her every single day, and we know when something isn't jiving. And that happened as we came into 2019. Something was off. She was starting to lose some basic things she had gained. That's what sucks about epilepsy, is you're working so hard. She is so hard to gain simple things like saying one word or being able to sit. Simple things. But you get a series of a bunch of seizure activity, and it can wipe out a lot of the gains. And that's what's really disheartening is no matter how much you gain and how hard you work, you never know when seizures are going to take that away, and you're going to have to start back at the beginning or back a few steps. And as we came into 2019, she started having what appeared to be some seizure activity during the day. So typically her type of epilepsy has manifested at night. Usually for her, it was she would wake up from sleep into, or nap or bedtime, into a seizure cluster. But she started having these weird moments during the day where she would just stare off into space and kind of disappear for a second. That's an actual kind of seizure. It's an absent seizure or a petit mal seizure. She would have single jolts instead of clusters, which we were used to, where she would cluster. So she would have these jolts repetitively every 5-10 seconds. She would just out of nowhere, like her whole body would jump, and that would be it. And then maybe later in the day, same thing. Her head would drop, one single drop, and that would be it. Honestly, you find yourself as a parent questioning every single movement that your child makes. It is exhausting because you overanalyze, because you never know. Could that be it? Could that not be it? And you never really know unless you can get them in on an EEG and see what's happening in her brain when these movements are happening, or when we're not even seeing movements. So 2019 started with a lot more seizure activity, more fevers. Fevers can induce seizures, particularly with the type of epilepsies that Alex has. And that brought us to May and another hospital stay and trying to figure out how we were going to come at this additional seizure activity and what appeared to be a couple new kinds of seizures. So at this point, a year and a half into having epilepsy, she had manifested about 4 different kinds of seizures. Remember, there's like 40 different kinds. So we didn't know what else was coming down the pipeline. So that got us to May. I'll tell you a little bit more about next time about how we addressed that, what came after that, and how we ended up coming into this year. It's been a roller coaster. But again, I'm hoping that sharing this story gives you a glimpse into Alex's life and our life and the life of maybe someone else you know. Often you don't know all these details and these ins and outs. And so I hope that it's resonating with you and making you want to do something and help. And that way you can help, or at least one way you can help, is supporting the fundraising efforts that I've got going this month for the PCDH19 Alliance. As I've mentioned, the Alliance was founded by mothers who have daughters with this rare gene mutation. They are warriors in and of themselves, and they are doing amazing work to try to help find a cure, help figure out how to treat this horrible condition and give our little ones the quality of life they deserve. And adults too that are living with PCDH19 that didn't even know they had it till the gene mutation was discovered. So please support, and I keep saying it, but every little bit counts. You got a couple bucks? Perfect. A couple bucks is great because it will add up. So please click on the link below. Please continue to follow the story, share it with other people as well. I hope it's inspiring someone to step up and make a difference. So thank you, and happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. I know a lot of them in my own family, and of course in my husband's family too. My husband is a vet himself. So thank you to all of you and the service that you have given this country and that many of you are continuing to give this country. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening.